Hey guys, today it's an honor to introduce another Next Genius scholar who got into Beloit College, Wisconsin for the batch of 2024. So hi Saumyaa, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I am Saumyaa Gupta and I completed my high school from Delhi Public School, Bhopal, Ahmedabad. And right now I'm in India, Ahmedabad, studying online at Beloit College, Wisconsin. I'm taking classes over there, and due to the pandemic, I'm still in India and I'm hoping to go there in spring 2021.
Awesome. So can you please share a little bit about your background? At what point of time you started the process of studying abroad? Was it ninth grade, 11th grade, or even early?
Right. So I actually visited the United States in my 11th grade break, and like US is like the epitome of education, I believe. So when I visited over there, I was super excited to see a lot of colleges and college students going around using public transportation. So that's where my journey began, and I decided that I'd apply to a few colleges over here and just explore the country to gain a good education and then come back to study like and help out people in India. So when I came back to India, I looked up more universities, and then I was shocked because of course the cost difference is like varied. So I hit a point where I thought that my dream would have like crashed down because it's really impossible to afford undergrad in the US. But I kept going. Like my parents did not let that factor hinder. And surprisingly, one of my teachers who taught me in high school, her name is Pushpa Nair. So she helped me find this Next Genius program. And that's where my actual journey began because they helped me out with a lot of things. Well, I'll talk further about it. And so I started applying in mid 11th grade, and that's where I started acquiring a lot of information regarding portfolio building and all that sort.
So once you got to know about Next Genius scholarship program, what universities you applied and how was the step-by-step process from there?
Right. So when I first looked at the website of the Next Genius, I really thought that this is all bogus because honestly, I didn't believe it at first because I don't understand how they give a full scholarship or anything like that. So, but I thought कि चलो ये भी करके देख लेते हैं एक बार. So I just registered myself, paid out like a small registration fee, and then they had like a level 1 test which we had to give out. So it had like logical reasoning and English based questions. So I gave that test, and honestly I did not like prepare much for it, and I was really shocked when I got to know that I cleared it because there are like a lot of students who had applied from all across India, and I was like really surprised when I got to know that I cleared the exam. So anyways, so after like a few days when I got to know that I got cleared, they told me to select like 3 colleges out of the list of 17 colleges they had, and I picked Beloit as my first choice because I believe that it has like a close-knit small community which can help me grow further. So I picked that, and I picked Rochester, and I picked Syracuse. So out of these 3, I got shortlisted for my first preference. That was Beloit College. And then after I got shortlisted, they asked me to fill out the Common App for the college, and I filled out the Common App, wrote all the essays and everything. And then I got an email saying that I had been shortlisted for the interview process, and I was called in January to a venue in Mumbai, and we had like an interview with all the admissions officers over there. And I wouldn't call it an interview exactly; it was like a very friendly interaction. It was super fun. Like we played games and all that sorts. So after we did that, I got my scholarship and I got accepted.
Wow, that's so amazing. And how many universities you applied to like to increase the chances of getting 100% scholarship? Uh,
Apart from the Next Genius scholarship, I had applied to Guilford College, Meredith College, UNC Chapel Hill, and I had applied to George Washington. So these were the 4 other universities that I applied to.
and what will be your major in college?
So I've decided to double major in psychology and political science.
Perfect. Awesome. So in terms of the exams you took, so you took level 1 math exam for Next Genius program, and you didn't take SAT either, right?
No, I
or you
did
did?
take my SAT. I did take my SAT. I got a 1350 on my SATs. But for Beloit College, I did not report my scores because I didn't find it necessary. They were test optional, so I didn't report it.
So that's so amazing. Just with the help of online level one exam and your plus one 11th or 12th score, you can definitely apply and get this opportunity. So that's
Yeah.
so amazing, and not many students know about it. And what's the difficulty level of this exam? Is it like SAT level?
Um,
Is it like SAT math level, or it's like 10th grade math, 11th grade math, or how would you
So,
define?
so I am not very good at math, believe me. So for me, it was a little difficult, and I think when I was preparing for the SAT, I did find some of the questions which were similar to what we took in the level one test. But overall, it has grade 10th applied, and I think a little bit of grade 9th applied mathematics as well.
So now let's talk about the extracurriculars that help you stand out in the process other than your quantitative measures.
Like I always had this forte for balancing out both academics as well as extracurriculars, because really, if you focus just on academics, you're just a robot studying. So I try to balance out both. So one of the key things that might have stood out is I was heading as the director of Green Warriors Club at my school, and we did like a lot of projects and a lot of activities for environmental awareness and environmental protection in our school as well as in our area. So that was one of the things. And the second thing that I had reported was I have like a small company called the USA Hype, and I help out like students who are planning to apply abroad with their entire journey, from applying to selecting universities, all of that sorts. So I also reported that because somehow it's unique. I had this side which I wanted to give them. And I also do like a lot of model UN sessions because I really, really, really love MUNs. So I had also given that. I had worked with a lot of NGOs in India, in Ahmedabad, and two in Delhi, I suppose. So those were the other things that I'd reported. And one more thing that I think was really important was that I'd done this research paper with a professor in Maika. It's just a college in Ahmedabad, and it was on the topic of Article 370 and its impact. So I'd done this, and these were, I think, the basic things that I'd reported in my Common App.
So can you please share about your scores that you submitted for this scholarship? So one would be the Next Genius level one score. So did you get to see that?
No, so we just get to know if we have cleared it or not. So I got to know if I cleared, and they just respond if you have or not. So
Perfect.
they
And
don't
what?
really give out any scores for it.
Perfect. And what about your 9th to 12th scores?
So in ninth grade, I had gotten a 9.2 CGPA because CBSE did this funny system of the CGPA back then. In 10th grade, I'd gotten 87%, which was okay. And like I got into all of the streams that I wanted to get in, and I'd selected humanities as the field that I wanted to proceed with. In 11th grade, because I was exploring, I took a dip. I got an 82%. And then in 12th grade, in my finals, I got 96.5%. So these were the sort of marks that I had gotten, and that helped me like add on to my application.
Wow. So did you have to convert your 9th to 12th high school into American GPA, or they just accepted it as it is?
So my school actually gave out transcripts in the form of American GPA, so that really helped. I think it's really important if you have a school to support you throughout your application process, because these can be like funny numbers that they have to convert. So yeah.
So now let's talk about how you decided to go to Beloit College, Wisconsin, as compared to any other college you applied to.
So the funny story is when I was trying to look at universities, I would just go to niche.com and look at the ranking, because that's one of the major indicators that we as students use to understand if it's a good university or not. But that was where I felt wrong in my entire process. So I learned this the hard way, because colleges are nothing based on the rank. What you should look at is if you feel at home for the next 4 years. Because if I go to university, if I pick a college or a university, and if I don't feel like home, the ranking doesn't actually matter then. So I recommend students to use this process. Remember that if you're trying to pick a shoe out of a store, you don't just look at the brand, you wear it and you walk around for a few, minutes and then see if it's actually comfortable or not. Similarly, you have to look at the university through that lens, if you're comfortable with it or not. So the reason I picked Beloit College is because Beloit has this really small, close-knit community. So which actually made me feel like my high school, like my family over there. Like when you have people who know you, people who care about you, that's a really important factor, because I'll be going into a completely different country and I need to feel belonged over there. I didn't want to feel secluded. So that was one of the major reasons that I had in my mind. The second reason I thought about was, when you go to a college, if there is like a big class ratio, professors tend to look down on you, or like forget you, or like not know you. So one of the reasons is Beloit has a really small student to teacher ratio. Like I'm taking one class right now, we just have 6 students, which helps the professor know each one of us better individually. So like that was one of the other reasons. And third and the most important reason was, like, they have like a huge international community over there. Thanks to Next Genius, like they have 10 to 11 students from India, and surprisingly one from like last year from my school itself. So they are all there and I've got in touch with them. So they spend like their time celebrating Diwali, Holi, Independence Day. So I'm really excited to go and meet them all.
So that's an awesome journey overall. So thank you so much, Saumyaa, for sharing it. And I hope this video adds a lot of value to all the prospective students as well.
Sure. And anyone who like is looking forward to applying in the US, don't forget, just apply there. It has been a beautiful journey. And when you're applying, make sure that you be yourself while applying. Like portray yourself completely and do your best.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.